Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is on his way to meet with US President Donald Trump for talks on ending the war in Ukraine. Italian authorities have arrested 9 people for allegedly funding Hamas through charities. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is on his way to meet with US counterpart Donald Trump for talks on ending the war in Ukraine. Zelensky left Poland early Saturday, with a first stop scheduled in Canada to meet with Prime Minister Mark Carney. On Sunday, the US and Ukrainian presidents will meet in Florida at Trump's private residence to discuss a peace plan for Kyiv. Zelensky announced that the talks will focus on security guarantees and territorial issues. The Ukrainian president also wants to bring to the negotiating table how to put additional pressure on Russia. Meanwhile, Moscow targeted Kyiv with a heavy night of strikes, leaving at least 1 person dead, dozens injured, and many residents without heating in freezing temperatures. Nine people have been arrested and millions of euros seized in an illicit Hamas financing probe in Italy. According to investigators, around 7 million euros were raised for Hamas over more than 2 years, while assets worth 8 million euros were also seized. The money was supposedly collected by NGOs as humanitarian aid for Palestinian civilians, a policeman statement said, but was instead sent to the militant group via a complex fundraising system and used to support the movement's criminal activities, including attacks against civilians. One of the suspects arrested is Mohammed Hannoun, president of the Palestinian Association in Italy, according to Interior Minister Matteo Piantedosi. The investigation began after the 7th of October 2023 Hamas attack and benefited from cooperation with the authorities of the Netherlands and Israel, allowing authorities to monitor financial flows and intercept communications.
Thailand and Cambodia have signed a ceasefire agreement on Saturday to end weeks of armed combat along their border over competing territorial claims. The ceasefire, which came into force around noon local time, calls for no further military movements by either side and no violations of either side's airspace for military purposes. The December clashes, which have seen Thailand launch airstrikes along the border as recently as Saturday morning, are the most serious since a previous ceasefire was agreed in July. The new truce deal calls for Thailand to repatriate 18 Cambodian soldiers it has held as prisoners since earlier fighting in July, once the ceasefire has held for 72 hours, something that has been a major demand of the Cambodian side. That first bout of fighting over 5 days saw at least 48 people killed before US President Donald Trump, with the help of Malaysia, negotiated a ceasefire. The simmering tensions, which date back more than a century, have resulted in soldiers and civilians killed on both sides.
Every winter evening, thousands of visitors brave the freezing cold to attend Japan's largest light festival, Nabana no Sato, located 4 hours from Tokyo. For the Japanese, the end-of-year celebrations are above all a celebration of beauty and wonder. While some visitors treat themselves to a break in the country's natural hot springs, others admire a 35-meter-high reconstruction of Mount Fuji. It took 3 months of work and 20 technicians to transform the botanical garden and install millions of tiny light bulbs.